नन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। We continue reading from where we left off yesterday. Yesterday very nice points have come up where Krishna is explaining about, Prabhupada is explaining about 5 aspects what are spoken in Bhagavad Gita. So we'll continue from there. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about even this thing also, what is called chitta. What is chitta also we were having discussion yesterday. Okay, we'll continue from there. When we are mentally contaminated, we are all conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am the product of mental nature. This is called false ego. So Prabhupada is technically explaining what is false ego. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conceptions cannot understand his situation. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from the bodily conception of life, and Arjuna put himself in this position in order to receive the information from the Lord. One must become free from bodily conception of life. That is the preliminary activity for the transcendentalist. One who wants to become free, who wants to become liberated, must first of all learn that he is not this material body. Mukti or liberation means to freedom from the mental consciousness. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, the definition of liberation is given. Muktir hitvanyatharupam swarupena vyavastitihi. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and is situated in a pure consciousness. So what is the contaminated consciousness? Chitta. We have to get rid of that. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intended to awaken this pure consciousness. And therefore, we find at the last stage of Gita's instructions that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now purified, whether he is now in purified consciousness. Purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instruction of the Lord. This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Okay, amazing, huh? What a statement it is about making. So he's saying purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instructions of the Lord. This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. So whenever we act like that, then our consciousness is purified. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. But for us, there is the affinity of being affected by the inferior modes. But the Lord, being supreme, is never affected. That is the difference between Supreme Lord and the small individual souls. So Prabhupada is, wherever there is opportunity, he is speaking about, again, the difference between Lord and Jiva also. So can someone read? Vinitru, can you please read? Vinitru? You are muted too. Yeah.
Now, bro?
Yeah.
Yes. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has 2 psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator and the other is that I am the enjoyer. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. And the living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. He is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, legs, eyes, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach, because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we, as subordinate living beings, are meant to cooperate to satisfy Him. This cooperation will actually help us, just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. The central figure of creation and of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, and the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created the manifested cosmic world.
Yeah. Now, in this paragraph, Prabhupada is also reminding us of the what is it called? Verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Yatha Tarora Mula Nishechanena Trupyandi Tatskanda Ujopashaka. So why Prabhupada is banging on this aspect a lot? We have to understand. Why? Because there is a lot of misconception in general world. We look into a lot of misconception. What is that misconception? Misconception is this, that I'm the Aham Brahmasmi with this word. Brahma means is Parabrahma also, is considered. I'm also the Supreme Lord. That kind of thought has unfortunately is pervaded all over the ether, especially in the Western worlds. Now, India is no more India separately. It's also as good as Western world. Here also, lot of thought. People, everyone, whoever is little bit spiritualized, we can see in them the tendencies of this Mayavad or this misunderstanding of Jiva to be considered or thought to be the Supreme Lord. So that's why Prabhupada is heavy on this aspect. Okay, we'll read next paragraph. We shall find, therefore, in this Bhagavad Gita, that the complete whole is comprised of the Supreme Controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, eternal time and karma, or activities, and all of these are explained in this text. All of this taken completely from the complete whole. And the complete whole is called the Supreme Absolute Truth. The complete whole and the complete absolute truth are the complete personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. All manifestations are due to his different energies. He is the complete whole. So everything is emanating from him. He is the source of everything. This is also recently Rajan was also mentioning, very, very nice to contemplate upon. Sometimes we think that this is mine. I may say this watch is mine. The watch is mine, I say, but did I manufacture it? Did I manufacture it? Okay, company owner can say, I have manufactured it. But our question to the company owner is, my dear sir, did you manufacture the materials also? No, materials are accepted from the nature. Somebody else manufactured the material. No, he has only refined it. He is not manufactured. So in this way, it doesn't belong to us. When it doesn't belong to us, it belongs to someone else. Everything belongs to someone. So when it doesn't belong to us, there is somebody who owns everything. That is the Ishavasham Idam Sarvam. That's what the Ishavasham mantra. So Prabhupada is mixing them also, that understanding also in the Bhagavad Gita, taking the help of that so that we can actually understand it properly. Yeah, Loknath Prabhu would like to read.
It is also explained in the Gita that impersonal Brahman is also subordinate to the complete Supreme Person. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Brahman is more explicitly explained in the Brahma Sutra to be like the rays of the sunshine. The impersonal Brahman is the shining rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Impersonal Brahman is incomplete realization of the Absolute Whole, and so also is the conception of Paramatma. In the 15th chapter, it shall be seen that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purushottam, is above both impersonal Brahman and the partial realization of Paramatma. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Satchidananda Vigraha. The Brahma Samhita begins in this way. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govinda. Krishna is the call of all causes, is the primal cause and is the very form of eternity, knowledge and bliss. Impersonal Brahman realization is the realization of his Sat, eternity feature. Paramatma's realization is the realization of his Satchit, eternal knowledge. But realization of the personality of Godhead Krishna is realization of all the transcendental features, Satchit and Ananda, eternity, knowledge and bliss, in complete Vigraha form.
This is one thing Prabhupada is mentioning from Brahma Samhita. Before that, he is telling about in the 15th chapter, we learn about what we are going to learn in 15th chapter. 15th chapter, there is Kshetrajna, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, all these aspects we are going to read. So there, Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. So he is present in everybody's body. So there we are going to understand that we are not the person who is there in everybody's heart. we are only in this body. We are conscious of this body only. So those aspects are going to come. So Prabhupada is giving the gist of those important aspects right now here. So that anybody who even reads this introduction itself will also get benefited. People with less intelligence consider the Supreme Truth to be impersonal, but he is transcendental person. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. That's what he says. And this is confirmed in all Vedic literature. Nityo Nityanam Chetana Chetananam Katha Upanishad 2.13. As we are all individual living beings, have our individuality, the Supreme Absolute Truth also in the ultimate issue, a person. And realization of the personality of Godhead is realization of all the transcendental features in his complete form. The complete whole is not formless. He is formless. If he is formless or if he is less than any other thing, then he cannot be complete whole. Let us say form is there. Form we are able to see in this metal world also, which is dead, right? We have seen that. So if at all that is lacking in Lord, then he is not complete whole at all. The complete whole must have everything within our experience, beyond our experience. Otherwise, it cannot be complete. Yeah. Okay. Other devotee can take lead. Maybe Suresh Prabhu, will you be able to read?
Yes, the complete
read.
The complete whole personality of Godhead has immense potencies. Parashara Satyam Vidhaiva Shruyate. How Krishna is acting in different potencies is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. This phenomenal world or material world in which we are placed is also complete in itself, because the 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation, according to Sankhya philosophy, are completely adjusted to produce complete resources which are necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. There is nothing extraneous, nor is there anything needed. This manifestation has its own time fixed by the energy of the Supreme Whole, and when its time is complete, these temporary manifestations will be regulated by the complete arrangement of the complete. There is complete facility for the small complete units, namely the living entities, to realize the complete and all sorts of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So, Bhagavad Gita contains a complete knowledge of Vedic wisdom.
This is also Prabhupada is taking the help from Ishopanishad mantra, right? We all know Ishopanishad mantra. What is that? Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. All of you know the meaning. That spiritual word is Purnam, Lord is Purnam. From Purnat Purnamadachyate. This whole, complete whole also. This also came from the Supreme Lord only. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. So from the complete whole, another complete whole taken out, still the complete whole remains complete. 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. That's what is the meaning, which we cannot experience in this world. No. Go ahead. Prabhupada is proving from different Upanishad also. All Vedic knowledge is infallible, and the Hindus accept the Vedic knowledge to be complete and infallible. For example, cow dung is a stool of an animal. And according to Smriti, the Vedic ancient, if one touches the stool of an animal, he has to take bath to purify himself. But in the Vedic scripture, cow dung is considered to be purifying agent. One might consider this to be contradictory, but it is accepted because it is a Vedic injunction. And indeed, by accepting this, one will not commit a mistake. Subsequently, It has been proved by modern science that cow dung contains all antiseptic properties. So the Vedic knowledge is complete because it is above all doubts and mistakes. The Bhagavad Gita is essence of the Vedic knowledge. So this we need to understand properly in order to experience the Vedic realization. If you want to experience, then you need to understand this aspect. What is that? Whatever is given in the Vedic literature is beyond a doubt. Why? Why we need to consider what is given in the Shastra to be no mistake should be there, no mistake will be there. Why should we consider? Can anybody answer?
It's given by the perfect person, Krishna.
His senses are not imperfect. His senses are perfect. Because his senses are perfect, the knowledge emanating from him is a perfect knowledge. So what knowledge we give to others can be imperfect. But to the degree we are simply repeating the knowledge. When we're repeating the postal peon, when we become, actually what we are giving is also completely perfect. Why? On the authority of from where we are taking this knowledge from. We are taking knowledge from in parampara, from the acharyas, from Krishna, which is coming from Krishna. We just repeat. There is no mistake done. Because our senses may be imperfect, but Lord's senses are perfect. Okay. Chandrahas Prabhu, could you be able to read?
Yes, Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with imperfect senses. We have to accept perfect knowledge which comes down, as is stated in Bhagavad Gita, by the parampara, disciplic succession. We have to receive knowledge from the proper source in disciplic succession, beginning with the supreme spiritual master, the Lord himself, and handed down to a succession of spiritual masters. Arjuna, the student who took lessons from Lord Sri Krishna, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. One is not allowed to accept one portion of Bhagavad Gita and not another. No, we must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpretation, without deletion, and without our own whimsical participation in the matter. The Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is received from transcendental sources, and the first words were spoken by the Lord himself. The words spoken by the Lord are called Apaurusheya, meaning that they are different from the words spoken by a person of the mundane world who is infected with four defects. A mundaner is sure to commit mistakes, is invariably illusioned, has the tendency to cheat others, is limited by imperfect senses. With these four imperfections, one cannot deliver perfect information of all pervading knowledge.
This is very important. So Prabhupada is just simply mentioning it. Why? Because that we are discussing on, why we need to accept the Lord's information from the Lord as it is, from the Veda. Why we need to accept? Because of this purpose only. The Lord's senses are perfect. He doesn't have these four defects. So Prabhupada is proving that. So wonderful. Vedic knowledge is not imparted by such defective living entities. It was imparted by unto the heart of Brahma, the first created living being. And the Brahma, in his turn, disseminated this knowledge to his sons and disciples, as he originally received it from the Lord. The Lord is Purnam, all perfect, and there is no possibility of him being subject to the laws of material nature. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that the Lord is the only proprietor of everything in the universe, and that he is the original creator, the creator of Brahma. In the 11th chapter, the Lord is addressed as Prapitatma, because Brahma is addressed as Pitamaha, the grandfather. He is the creator of the grandfather. So no one should claim to be the proprietor of anything. One should accept only things which are set aside for him by the Lord as his quota for his maintenance. Also from what we read from Ishopanishad, right? Ishopanishad, what we read? What is the mantra?
Ishavasyam idam sarvam.
Sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjita magrida kasyasvitam. We are not entitled to accept anybody else's portion. We have to just take that portion kept aside for us. But we cannot claim even that as the creator of that. We are not the creators of that portion of what is kept aside for us also. It is Lord mercifully is giving us. Then we accept and we recognize him. That is what is our duty. We will read last paragraph today for today. We'll conclude. Who is the one who did not read? Swami Prabhu did not read, I think. Swami Prabhu, can you please read? Yeah.
Yes, no. There are many examples given of how we are to apply those things which are set aside for us. This is how they are in the Bhagavad Gita. Aside for us by the Lord. This is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, Arjuna decided that he should not fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. This was his own decision. Arjuna told the lords that it was not possible for him to enjoy the kingdom after killing his own kinsman. This decision was based on the body because he was thinking that the body was himself and that his body relations of expansions, names, brother-in-laws, grandfathers, and so on. Therefore, to satisfy his body demands, Bhagavata was spoken by the Lord just to change his view, and then Arjuna decided to fight under the direction of the Lord. It says, I shall act according to your word. Bhagavata 18.7.
So Prabhupada is coming back to the original track. We simply surrender means what? Just simply follow the Supreme Lord. Whatever the words are given coming from the Lord. Why we need to follow? In between is spoken. And finally, Prabhupada came back to the same statements that we just need to follow the Supreme Lord. And at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna decided to follow the Lord. This is very, very important for us to understand. When we understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, it should take us to surrender to Krishna. When we understand knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the essence is very simple. Very simple. If we just simply surrender unto him, that's how the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is given, right? That South Indian Brahmana story. So the Brahmana there, he actually surrendered to Supreme Lord and he awakened his natural love for Krishna. Just by seeing Bhagavad Gita, he was crying tears by seeing the love of Krishna. So he has realized Krishna. So this is the, what you call it as purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita purpose is not to recite 700 shlokas without seeing, or Bhagavad Gita purpose is not to become a scholar. Bhagavad Gita purpose is not to any other aspects, karma or jnana, nothing. Finally, we have to come to this conclusion of surrendering to Krishna. So first we may accept Krishna as a supreme authority theoretically, even theoretically. But Prabhupada is coming to the conclusion when we read Bhagavad Gita, we are supposed to surrender. If we surrendered fully, then actually the purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita is fulfilled. So we have gone over time now. So any questions? If there are no questions, then we'll pause. Yeah, this is a simple subject matter only. But see, in the introduction itself, there is a lot of wonderful substances given by Srila Prabhupada. So we all have to be grateful to Prabhupada and serve his mission. Thank you all very much for assembling. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.